Now let's take a look at the final issue for equality. I said earlier that there's a conflict between equality comparisons, type safety, and good object-oriented programming practices. I don't want to say too much about that at this point, because it'll be much easier to understand this problem once we start seriously coding later in the course, and you'll be able to see then how the problem naturally arises in the code we write. But just to try and quickly give you a rough flavour of the conflict for now. Later on we'll be developing a base class called food, which represents different foods, and we'll have a derived class called cooked food, which adds information about the cooking method. If we wanted food to declare that food instances know how to check whether they are equal to other food instances, you might be tempted to have it implement the interface IEquatable of food. This requires it to implement an equals method, which takes a food instance as a parameter. If we want cooked food to also declare that cooked food instances know how to check whether they are equal to other instances, we'd probably have it implement IEquatable of cooked food. That means it'll implement a similar equals method, but one which takes a cooked food instance as a parameter. And that's where the problem comes in. You can probably guess that in well-designed OOP code, you'd expect cooked foods equals implementation to override foods equals implementation. But the trouble is, cooked foods equals method has a different argument type from foods interface method, which means it won't override it. And if you're not very careful, that can cause all sorts of subtle bugs where you end up calling the wrong equals method and so return the wrong result. Often the only workable way around this is to lose type safety, and that's exactly what you see in the objects.equals method, which is the most basic way most types implement equality. This method takes an object as a parameter, which means it's not type safe, but it will work correctly with inheritance. This is a problem that's not well known. There are even a few blogs around that give incorrect advice on how to implement equality, because they don't take account of this issue. But believe me, it is a problem. When we start writing code to implement equality in the next few modules, it will keep coming back to bite us, and we will have to be very careful how we design our code to avoid it.